Okay, awesome. Well, welcome. Can you believe we're 3 days away from 2024? This time of year just goes by so quick, but it's also the time of year because we have so many holidays that we're rolling off from Thanksgiving directly into then preparing for the other holidays and then the new year, that from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve, it goes by like this. But it's also a reminder that we're heading into a completion cycle, which I think is so key, that we actually really acknowledge the completion process. We're so used to just hearing about New Year's Eve and the first day of the new year, and we're so focused forward that many times we neglect to take the time to look in our rear view mirror to see how far we have come. So right now, whether you're watching live on YouTube or one of our other platforms, or here on our Zoom call, on a 1 to 10, like how much of the year have you actually documented out your accomplishments? If you've done it every month, go ahead and give it 10. Most people haven't. And if you do, if you have a process where you acknowledge your accomplishments at the end of the year, then go ahead and add that as well, that you do that at the end of the year. I'm going to read the comments here, because I'm sure we have a mix. A two. Okay, that's real. That's most people. Most people do not do it because we're so used to just continuing to keep those blinders on and moving forward. And we're like, okay, it's the new year, not at this time. Right. And that's legit. If I walked around with a clipboard and was doing a survey right now and I surveyed 100 people, there maybe would be one, maybe two that have some sort of closure process in place for the end of the year. So that's what I want to start with here today, because it's really so important. Now, if you feel like you've accomplished a lot this past year, then put yes in the comment section, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on the replay. Okay, yes, you accomplished a lot. We all accomplished a lot, whether we acknowledge it or not. But because we are used to going so quickly, Susie, yes, right? Yes, we accomplished a lot. We know we did. We know we were busy. I mean, we're so busy being busy that we don't even acknowledge what we're busy doing, like what those things are that we've accomplished by being busy throughout the year. When we think about how quickly each day goes by, how quickly each week goes by, how quickly each month goes by, and then how quickly each month goes by. There's so many things that happen throughout the year that we just want to take a moment and then reflect. Now, it's difficult to go all the way back to January and say, what were all my accomplishments in January? Because where we're going to think is most recent. Like, what did we accomplish in the last 4 weeks, right? The last 6 weeks. But to dust off those cobwebs and say, what were the accomplishments? So sometimes it's easier to just break it down into categories. So did everybody get the workbook? Everybody get the adjunct workbook that was attached to the email that went out? It's in the email, so you can go ahead and download that while we're on the call live, or you can also download it afterwards. You can print it out as well. And we're going to go through that. But first, we're just going to pause here for a moment and say, okay, if you're someone that likes to have some sort of capture system in place, what I started doing many years ago, and I started doing this really basically for me and for my clients as a success and strategy coach. I was just used to, and coming from corporate, I was just used to using a day planner, and that was it. And it was just like writing out my calendar first, like writing it into an actual planner, and then most recent doing it digitally. And so because of that, I needed a place where I could write things out and capture much more than just what those appointments were in my calendar, in my planner, in my digital calendar, that I created a planner calendar. And one of the things I liked, because I always had notebooks everywhere, and I would use different systems, and I would use different types of notebooks. So they weren't even uniform. And I would jot down ideas. I would jot down, things I was working on in projects, and they would be in different notebooks. And then at the end of many years, then I ended up with trunks filled with notebooks. And then you can't find anything, and you're never going to go back through them and be able to retrieve what you actually put inside of them. So I'm a really big fan of having something that's designated for the year, so that you have, if you were to look in your, like, that's my closet, if you were to look in my closet, you would see for the last 10 years, you would see 2010 in one spot, 2011 in one spot, so that I could pull the book out and then be able to go through and see what were the accomplishments each month. It makes it a lot easier at the end of the year. But no worries, because most people haven't done that. And I only started doing it to try to systemize it, because when you kind of work on autopilot, because I come from corporate, it was kind of like rinse and repeat. My year was like kind of the same every year. So it just kind of like, I went to work, and plus they do end of the year reviews and all those kind of things. So they're capturing more your metrics of your sales and all that kind of thing. But when you're an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you're a small business owner, then we don't have a system that's built in to the company culture, the way that they do business. So I just encourage you, and I mentioned that here today. So if you do have something like a notebook, that you can jot this down. And even if you're listening to the replay, I really encourage you to do that and start with what went well. So I'm just going to ask you that question: what went well this year? So what stands out? What is a highlight that went well this year? And then as you're writing down and as you're thinking about it, I'm going to then call out different categories, and it might trigger your memory. So for example, I'm going to start with health, because the health is the foundation of everything. So what went well in regard to your health? Did you start a new gym membership? Did you start actually going to the gym and have a certain ritual routine? Did you actually make it to the gym 3 days a week, or however often that you did? Or maybe you took up a sport and you play tennis, you do walking outside, like whatever those activities. And so that's just activities and exercise. But then there are those other things that you do. If you're a biohacker, like I'm really into biohacking. So I'm really into, doing a hot sauna, and also doing cold plunge therapy. I'm really into taking vitamins and supplements. And this past year, on a regular basis, I started doing IV vitamin infusions. So like those are things that you do, that you decide that you're going to do, and then you did them to acknowledge that you actually did them. So as you tick through, and those are also even doing things that are prevention, making those doctor's appointments, going to those doctors, getting a physical, checking your blood work, knowing what your metrics are. So just the things that you did well in the area of health, the things that you did well in the area of relationships. Like think about what you did in your relationships. Did you make a date night with your significant other? Did you spend more time with your parents, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your kids? What about communication? Were you texting people, calling people, sending them cards, like things that you did? You went with your cousin for her birthday, XYZ, like the things that went well in the areas of relationship. And I can see that you're all thinking about these things, which is really great. So we have to know where we've been and where we are now before we're putting out there where we're going and just layering on additional goals and your wants and desires without really taking inventory how far you have already gone. So those are your relationships and communication. Now you can then go from family to friends to your clients, customers, like, think about all those partnerships, collaborations, like, think about all the different areas of relationships and what went well for you. Maybe you had a tough conversation with somebody and you had been putting that off. So you can acknowledge yourself that you actually did that. Then as we move through relationships, now we're going to enter into our careers and business. What went well for you this year? Did you have a launch? Did you do something in your business that really stands out for you? And think that through. Like, you can think it through by the season as well. Starting the year and it's winter, like, think through the seasons, then it's spring, then it's summer, think through, then it's fall, think through each one of those seasons, because everything runs in business and cycles. What were some new things that you did in your business? So what went well for you there? And now in your finances, what went well for you there? I mean, small things are really big things. So you can think about your income, money coming in. You can think about money that you saved, money that you invested, because money really is a really big conversation. There's all different aspects of money. Where did you have your wins? Even just opening up a new account, or adding to an existing investment, or even starting to, maybe you thought about buying a house, you didn't buy a house, maybe you did, but maybe you didn't, but you actually went out and looked. So you have the wheels turning. So what went well for you in regard to your finances? I'm going to take a moment here so that you can crystallize and think back through. I make personally, and I did this because of this process, I turned my week into, and I consider this a win, that every Friday is my financial day where I go through my finances, right? So just even designating a day or paying more attention, going through your bank accounts, like hiring a bookkeeper, like these kinds of things, doing your taxes early, like whatever it is. And maybe you made an investment in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you invested in a course and you're really proud of yourself for doing that. Like, those are investments too. You took a class, you joined a mastermind, you took a trip. These are wins. You invested in you, or you invested in your health. You invested in the gym membership. That counts in health, but that also counts in your money, because you're allocating your finances to work for you. So those are all under the umbrella of money. And then the area of spirituality, religion, that anything that for you that connects you to something bigger and greater. Maybe, I just got a book. It's called The Bible Leadership by John Maxwell. And he uses a lot of Proverbs and Bible teachings in his book on leadership. And so that to me is like a win that I got that book. I actually wrote out some prayers. Like, I got very intentional about the way that I pray. I've like systemized it. And I actually have written out, I would listen to a podcast and I would hear like a beautiful prayer that somebody would share. And I was like, you know what? I'm writing that down. I really like that. That really resonates with me, and really like focused on having these breaks in the middle of the day and then go out for a walk. And in the walk, like, include a prayer. So, or maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's not prayer for you. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's nature. So whatever that is, so that you're writing these things down. So how good does it feel to actually give acknowledgement to the things that went well? There's a lot of things that went really well. And you're capturing them. Now, one of the things that I did this year, well, the big thing that I did that was very different than other years is I did an end of the year review. And I will send out the link to that. I actually have it published. It's published on Medium. And it did take some time, and I added some pictures, but it lives in the digital archive of the cloud, the universal cloud that I will have forever documented. And even though it was heavy lifting, it's something now that I'm committed to do going forward, right? Once you do it once, then the second time it won't take as long. And I got the idea from James Clear from Atomic Habits that he had done this process, and actually quite a few writers, the founder of ConvertKit, so many really talented, smart people that have had a lot of success through writing or having some sort of audit system. And so that encouraged me to do that. But really to think about like the things that went well in your life and to have them documented somewhere. So as you write them down, if you want to do something like that, I can send you the template on that. Now, to actually say, to do a true audit is to kind of, we all go off track. We all get distracted, and then life happens. So what didn't go well for you this year, and to think about those categories, just so we can acknowledge it, not that we want to dwell in it, but we know we can do better as we step into the new year. So what didn't go as well as you would have liked or expected? And so you're going to just acknowledge those things. You're just going to take them in. For me, the main thing for me that stood out when I was doing this myself was I wasn't sleeping through the night. I was waking up. For most of my life, I've slept through the night and I wake up feeling really refreshed. But this year I started waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. And that had gone on for months and months. So that was not going well because your sleep affects every other part of your life. So I had to really do some work. It wasn't going well as I was checking in. And so then I started doing some research and saying, how can I do better there? Right. So that, and now that we're at the end of the year, I'm doing better. Is it great? Is it where I want it to be? It's going to be in 2024 because I'm going to continue to habit stack. I'm going to continue to stack my wins and putting in the actual, like the resources that will help make it better. But I will say that now I wake up and I don't stay up all night. I'll go back to sleep. So I'm doing so much better. If I was like a 2 or a 3, now maybe I'm like at a 7. So that's a huge improvement. But that did not go so well for me. So as you're writing down what that's between you and you, what didn't go well. And now I'm going to jump into, and we're going to divide it both into personal and professional. So life and business. In your life, where are you strongest? Are you a strong communicator? Are you really strong with relationships? Like, where are you strong? Where are you strongest? Are you good at like the way that the flow of your home, the energy of your home? Where in life are you strongest? Are you somebody that loves to have people over and cook and prepare meals? Where are you strongest? What stands out for you? Go ahead and share in the comment section. I want to hear from some of you, like, where are you strongest? An idea shared multiplies. Where I've been strongest in my life is like figure out little hacks how to work out. Like I'll go up and down the stairs during the day. Oh, Susie, I love that. Empathy and building relationships. That's what a beautiful skill. And so that that's something you're really, really good at. That's fantastic. You know, in regard to empathy, we hear about empathy these days, but we didn't really know about empathy like maybe 10 or 20 years ago. People were not talking about it that much. Let's see, Tanya, phone conversations. Tanya, you work and you do a lot on the OWL app. The OWL app, for anybody that doesn't know, is a networking app. It's a resource app where business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, and just really great people, they come together, and it's a combination of having like Clubhouse, but like you could just call people and there's a change of resource and money. And that's how I met Tanya, actually, is through the OWL app. But it's so much more than that. Like many people on there have podcasts and they all collaborate together. So it's like a really great app. If anybody wants, like, we'll send you Tanya's information. You can join through her. But so, you know, if you're really a good conversationalist, that's something that you know is a strength. Maybe you want to do a strength finders. Maybe you're like, you know, that's a really good question. I don't really know where I'm strong. So let me go ahead and look that up. Like, you know, take one of those personality or strength finder tests. So where are you strongest in your business? Where do you shine in your business? What is your sweet spot for your business? So think about those things. Where are you strongest? Are you really great at relationship building? Do you like to network? Where are you strongest in your business? Are you strongest with like graphics and design? Are you strong with technology? Are you strong in sales? Are you strong with being that calm person that people come to and confide in? So where are you strongest? Share in the comment section. I'd love to hear a couple ideas there. So being support, being like when I worked in corporate, I was on this leadership team, and you know, the people that can be really neutral and really rally and unite the sales force, because there can be a tendency, right, for everybody to kind of sort of complain about things. So if you're the person at the water cooler that's like really always trying to get people to see like the pluses versus the minuses, that you're the positive person that always puts a positive spin on things, when people sometimes just have a natural tendency to go to the negative of things. So we know what happens in a company culture when, you know, one person, it could be like a fire that takes off with one person just kind of really starting, but it also works in reverse with positivity. So people feel safe and loved because you remember the little details about people. Eileen, and for what you do for a living and working as a therapist and working with clients, like for people to feel safe, supported, that's what you want in your business. And then as a coach, and then running a sisterhood group, to be able to know that there's a safe place because you are at the home and you lead that. So that's fantastic. Okay. Now we're going to go. So that's in life where you're strongest. Now we're going to go to your life, what holds you back. So what is it that, and we kind of know what that thing is that holds us back. Is it stopping and starting? Like I've been known to do that. Like I have to put parameters in, and I got to put checkpoints in to make sure that I'm consistent with things. That can be like just verbally, publicly sharing that you're doing something, and then that holds you accountable. Or getting a group together. I did a couple years ago, I did 75 hard, which is kind of a workout thing. It's also reading and working out and not drinking alcohol and all these things. And so with doing that, like it's accountability. They had an app with it, they have a podcast with it. They have a lot of online resources with that. Lack of confidence holds me back. That is a big one. That is a big one. And that overflows in life and in business. So just even knowing it, you can say that's what's been holding me back. Okay. Now you take it and you take it from inside of you and you take it outside and you say, okay, now I can look at this. My health and my habit of over worry. That's legit. So first we'll talk about the habit of over worry, and like you just even acknowledging it and then saying, okay, I need to bring in these other things that can work with that. And also with health. And without your health, it really is a struggle. So you got to get your health. I'm recovering from surgery right now. Like nothing happens if you're not, I'm back now and I just started working again in the last few days, but you have to feel, you have to totally feel into that so that you can be really, focusing on what you need to focus on and put the first things first. Brittany, feeling guilty when saying no to others, so you overfill your plate. That is a big one. I know that there are others that are listening right now or here, and they're saying that's me too. Feeling guilty when I say no, so you overfill your plate. That used to be me. Setting boundaries and saying no guilt-free is a goal for the new year. That's great. So you know what's held you back, and now you're able to pivot and say, that's the thing. And I know that when I set my boundaries, and that you've decided that you're going to do that. So we're in the area, for anybody who's just joined us, what areas in life hold you back? And because these are interconnected, the things in your personal life that hold you back are going to overflow into your business as well. Now, in your business, things that hold you back. So we're gonna think about those things. What holds you back in your business? It can be the story that you're telling yourself that you're not good in technology. It can be the story that you're telling yourself that you're not good in sales. Now, you notice how I'm not saying that you're not good in sales, you're not good in technology, because I don't believe that's true. I was somebody that 12 years ago, I would have said technology was difficult for me. And now I love technology and I'm really good at it. And it's taken time. But once you identify that area and say, okay, I'm just going to, because just get a little bit better at it. And first know that that is just a story, that you can change that. So whatever that is holding you back, specifically in your business, whatever comes to mind, you want to share. Confidence is always a thing, because we can be confident in certain areas of our business and then have lower confidence in another part of our business. Maybe we're really good if we're giving a presentation and it's a small group, but we're not confident if there's more than, 3 or 4 people in the room. Maybe you're really strong there, but maybe you're not confident picking up the phone and making 5 or 10 calls to people to let them know about your new business or your new offer, whatever that is. So I'm going to wait to see what we have in the chat section. Overworking can be a thing too that holds you back, because I see overworking, because if you overwork, one of the things I found quite fascinating was the whole idea of slowing down, and that when you slow down, you actually then become more productive, because you can hold your focus, you can concentrate, you can get more done, because you don't have the switching cost of switching from activity to activity. Like overworking, like if you're tired, right, you have to like keep getting up and getting a coffee, or maybe you fidget, or maybe you're tired and you start scrolling on social media. Like overworking is a real thing. Belief in business that I struggle to maintain consistent cash flow. That is huge. Okay. A belief that you struggle consistent in cash flow. So now you can connect the dots. If to be consistent cash flow, like what's holding you back from that and then dissect there. Is it making the calls? Is it getting out in public? Is it public speaking? Like, what are those things? Getting on social media, going live on social media. We're going to talk about some of those things here in just a moment. We have a mastermind this coming year, which like breaks down all those components, which are like storytelling, how important storytelling is, or intentional networking, and also speaking on social media. Like it can feel like very overwhelming to do that. And also to keep your vision really vivid, the vision very vivid, and your why and your mission, like right there. If you're driving from your mission, it gives you stamina. It gives you fuel. So what is holding you back? So we're going to take all this together and we're going to take the learnings from each thing. What pops out for you of a main learning for this past year? What did you learn in 2023? What lessons? And do share. I feel like I learned so much. I feel that this was such a growth year. And I feel like that every year, but I feel like even more so this year, it was learning. During COVID, we were a bit in survival and we were a bit like doing, some things and redefining and trying to figure out the new world. But this past year, there's so many ways to learn. And whether it's through podcasting, whether it's through books. So there's so many. And if you have an interest in a topic, you find out who the best experts are and then learn from those experts. And because there's so much information online, you don't want to have too much information, right? So you just want to learn just a couple key things so you can move the ball forward. Susie, this year, big learnings around self-compassion. Yeah, I'm sighing on that. And rest and asking for support. That was a big lesson for me too. Anybody else had that as a big lesson? Asking for support. That's huge. Getting support in your business is a game changer. Amen on that. Amen. Because first off, we're not even designed to do things alone. The best investment, we were talking about investments, the best investment you can make is in yourself. And whether it's taking a course or whether it's a mentor, whether it's a coach, like no matter what it is, whenever you're investing in your personal growth, you're investing in your learning, you're going to develop quicker. You're going to be able to go further. Tanya, I can use my gifts and monetize them while still helping others. Oh yeah. You can do both. I mean, as long as you keep the boundaries in place. But absolutely, to embrace and embody your worth and that there's an energy exchange. You give somebody a service, then the energy exchange is then you have compensation. You always over deliver. Like this group, you're impact driven. So you're someone that is always going to give what the monetary value is, and then even more. And that's how you even develop your reputation. Discernment, that's a great word. I must check in with your intuitive sense and keep boundary. Yes. Discernment. I really like that you said that, Eileen, and matching up that everything is congruent, that your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions are in alignment with your values. That's what I hear you saying, how important that is. Setting boundaries in relationships, both personally and professionally, strengthen your communication. Indulging a hobby that fills your cup is worth adding to your schedule. Oh my goodness, yes. Because when you're fulfilled, that overflow of you feeling good is going to be the feeling that you're going to bring into different aspects of your business. So these are some great learnings. And we learn from each other as everyone is sharing here, right? Light bulb moments. come up. So now we're gonna just break it down to write out 5 people who have inspired you. 5 people. They can be people that are alive. They can be in your family. They can be someone's podcast you listen to. They can be your coach or mentor. 5 people who have inspired you. Maybe it's somebody that you've seen that has gone through, some sort of hardship to the other side, and they've inspired your courage and strength. Maybe it's somebody that you've seen in their business, or they launched corporate and then they were able to enter entrepreneurship and do it successfully, and that person inspired you. So 5 people that inspired you. And then 5 books that have inspired you. 5 books. Now, I'm putting out there that maybe you read 5 books. If you didn't read 5 books, maybe 1 book that inspired you. But if you have been reading and you have a few books that are on your bookshelf, then what are those books that have inspired you? And then 5 podcasts that have inspired you. So we have all these great resources. For sure, we know it sounds cliche, but readers or leaders, you're going to always see a big library in somebody's home, or at least a digital library. If they are successful, that they have really, they've done big things in their life. And even those people, like, you just never really see behind the scenes how much study people do, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So reading, listening to podcasts, or just having those lunches or conversations or text messages, or even now on social media, how you can be inspired. I'm just curious if you have a podcast or 2 or a book, you can go ahead and put it in the comment section. Just curious to see. I really changed up in the last year or 2 who I listen to and what I listen to. Now, I know a lot of people send out recommendations and all that sort of thing, so you got to follow your vibe. There's a certain vibe that I am following right now, and it's very specific. And it's really not like, for a couple years I would follow somebody that was more, in the area of spirituality. Now it's like really super focused on scaling a business and marketing. And and at the same time, what I love most about the people that I'm following, that I follow personally, is that I like them as human beings, because everything's congruent with them. So it's not just the sales and marketing and business and money. It is the way they are in their relationships with their family, and how they are as a human being, and how they give and how they serve and where their heart is. Like those things, I only want to learn from those people that have those things as the baseline, and then their focus is on scaling. Scaling 7, 8 figures, like somebody that is really already got those foundational pieces in. Okay, so now we're going to jump into 1 or 2 habits that you're going to release. We're almost done. And then we're going to face forward. But a lot of this is really, it's taking a look backwards, acknowledging 2023, and preparing to strongly step into 2024. So to list 1 or 2 habits that you want to release. And there's power in the share. So go ahead and share one of those things in the comment section. Because you sharing is going to inspire somebody else, because maybe it's something they hadn't thought about. And then you will then trigger for them, like, oh, yeah, okay, that's something to look at. So a habit to release. So one of my things has been going from caffeinated coffee to decaffeinated coffee. That's been a very big thing for me. Things to release, things to let go of, cleaning out your closet. What are you releasing? Maybe it's a person. Releasing the need for social media posts to be perfect. Oh, that's so big. Yeah. That's like social media, and it's just gone in a flash. Like it's like all the way down the feed. And we overthink things. Releasing the need for social media posts to be perfect. Eating when bored or emotional. These are really great ideas that you're sharing here, because this is real stuff. Eating when bored. I know I'm guilty of that. Releasing the need for social media posts to be perfect. I have to keep reminding myself about that. So now we're going to add 1 to 2 habits that you want to add. Jesse Isler has a great recommendation in this area of stacking your habits. And I have been a big fan of Atomic Habits, James Clear. And everything really is in what you do daily is the actions that you take that mold and shape the future identity and the person that you are becoming. That being said, it's the habits that you let go of and the habits that you put in, but we try to do too much. We try to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do my supplements. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to read 10 pages. I'm going to make 10 sales calls. I'm going to post on social media. Those are way too many things. If you have not done those things. So what I love about what Jesse Esler says is really, he only adds in 1 new habit a quarter. 1 new habit a quarter. That would be 4 habits a year. 4 new habits a year. I know that when I implemented my drinking 2 glasses of water, I started it a few years ago just by drinking a glass of water every day. I didn't try to do anything else, no supplements with it, like nothing else. Like just when I wake up in the morning, I want to drink a glass of water. That's it. And now it's like really instilled in there, like so strongly, to drink a glass of water. I drink 2. It's like my brain just automatically goes to the cupboard. It automatically gets the glass. It automatically does that. So what is a habit that you're going to instill personally or professionally? What is that habit? A habit doesn't have to be something that's every day. A habit can be something that's once a week, that you add in once a week. You want to be realistic. You want to first get it once a week and then increase it to twice a week, so you're leaning in. I have a new habit in the new year. So I'll share that with you. But I'm practicing it now. So I'm saying I'm doing it now. I'm closing out the year doing it, but I'm not really doing it well, right? So I'm kind of getting it started. It's a really big thing, so I'm not going to add anything else to my list, but it's writing 1,000 words a day. So writing 1,000 words a day is going to be really heavy lifting, but I'm going to count everything. And I'm going to give myself permission to do it 4 days a week and like not beat up on myself. But I've been doing it now, a few times a week, and it feels really good. Tanya, use your infrared sauna to improve health. I love that. That is great. That's a great habit to install. Follow up with IG followers and connect more and daily nature walks, half an hour or more. So those are 2 great things. I mean, we already know that the nature walks are going to help you personally and professionally, because that's where those great ideas and the creativity comes in with. So it is a business advantage to be able to go for a daily walk and to follow up with IG followers and connect more. That's great. Yeah, for sure. On IG and on social media, mine is going in and commenting very mindfully, intentionally, commenting on other people's posts, not just giving them a heart, but like really comment on their post. Because it just seems like super easy to go through and give everybody a like, but a like doesn't even really do anything. Like I was just sharing this with somebody this week. If you go through and just like everybody's post on LinkedIn, you don't really stand out. People can't even see all the likes. But if you comment, they'll know it's you. Brittany, planning my week ahead of time, not skipping meals. Okay, that's really important. I've been guilty of skipping meals. That was a big thing that I did because I just kept working, not skipping meals, planning your week ahead of time. I plan on Sundays. So do you have a time when you're going to plan? That'll make it to kind of hone it in so you'll know when you're going to plan your week. To prioritize you over others, really important. Using exercise is an opportunity for self-care. I know, right? They say self-care. So if you link self-care with exercise, like you got a 2-for-1. Connect with your significant other as a shared hobby. And that's going to go a long way. A happy home, a happy life, right? Happy home and a supportive, connected partner, then that's going to help you. That's going to help you thrive in your business as well. So those are beautiful things. So, okay, so we did a lot as far as going through and doing the review. How are you feeling about that? Like you really took the time and reviewed your 2023. So you can actually take it and bless it. Because what you bless blesses you back, right? Yes, more of that, please. Yes, more happiness, success, better relationships, more productivity, but taking care of health is a priority and taking the time to do that first, and then to use that as a catalyst to become even more productive in your business. And so all of those things. And so now, as we're thinking about 2024, in just a couple days, I would be remiss, and for anybody that has known me for a while, I am all about reverse engineering. I am all about going forward as if it already happened to the end of the year. And I do this in our masterminds every month and chunk it all the way down to all the different parts of your life and your business, and to go forward, like how you feel right now, this feeling that it's 2 days and we are approaching, like, it's going to be midnight and we walk into a brand new year, which is 352 days, 52 weeks. We've got 1,440 minutes every day. So everybody's got the same amount of time.
What are you going to do?
And let me just see here. I got someone with an open line. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, let's see if that helps. So what we're going to do is just visit the same feeling, the same time, as if it's 2 days before the end of 2024. And you're going through this exercise again. And you're reviewing what went well through the year. And you have done so many things that you really set intention for at the beginning of the year. In your health, you feel great. You made yourself a priority. You took care of yourself, your physical body, nutrition, working out, all the things. And you're really proud of yourself. And as you get ready to step into 2025, like acknowledge what those parameters would be. Where are you living? You're in your home. You can see your home, look around, who is with you, how you celebrated the holidays, and you're coming off a really great year. Your relationships have really blossomed and they have grown. Your communication has been just, you've been true to who you are. You've been able to speak your truth. You've been able to take your business to the next level. You've busted out some big moves, some of them on social media. Like you really grew your presence on social media. You allocated and used your time really wisely. You had help and support, and you didn't have to do it by yourself. You collaborated with others. You have clients you love working with. You're doing what you love. You had the opportunity to travel, to speak. You were given some really big opportunities. A couple of them came out of nowhere. You were very intentional each month. So you planned out your month and you planned out your week and you used reverse engineer to go forward to the end of January. And you saw January as if it already happened. And then you deconstructed it, all the components, and you planned it out and you executed, you implemented really well. And you put those boundaries in place and you said yes to what was most important. And your business is thriving. Your business has grown by leaps and bounds. You were so excited and grateful and feel so fulfilled looking back over this past year. You've increased your monetization, your income has grown, all of those components.
Like here.
You continue to, sorry, I'm not able to, hold on one sec. I really want to do that. Okay, now I got now I got the mute. Okay. So all those things have come in, you have spent like your Friday looking at your finances, mapping things out, investing wisely, growing your income. And you've taken time for yourself. You feel really connected and you're really proud. And this has been your best year. This has been such a stellar year. So all of that you're seeing now before you even step into January with a high vibration, like ready, like you're in the zone. You're in the zone. You're in your power. You're in your confidence. You're in your certainty. You're in your trust. You're in your productivity. You're in your technology. You know how to use social media. You are in flow. You have been creative. You keep growing more and more creative. And all these things have come together for you. And when you look back to how you closed the year in 2023 and you closed it on a high note, just ready, fully present, fully prepared. And that's the life. You're creating a life and business with intention. So that being said, we're like right on the hour. So we got a lot in this hour, like right on the nose. We're on the hour. So I know there are a few of you that are here today that are part of the mastermind that starts next Friday. We are meeting every month here on Zoom. We have guest experts in every area that are coming to share the ins, the outs, the secrets, all the things to layer your business to grow to the next level for income, influence, impact, to make a bigger difference in the world. So that mastermind is going to go for 6 months. Now, I've been doing these masterminds for 10 years. And I decided this year that I was doing it to really open it up and make it at a ridiculous price. So whoever wanted to join in could join in. So normally it would be $1,000, which is still like nothing because of everything that you get, all the resources for 6 months. But today I'm doing it for 50% off. So for less than, I don't know, a couple cups of coffee every week at Starbucks is the mastermind. So you'll reach out to me and let me know. And we start next Friday at 12 o'clock noon, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. And we meet mostly the first Friday of the month. But I'm so honored and excited. We have someone who's an expert at helping you like hone in your messaging and storytelling, and an expert on LinkedIn that's going to help you like revamp your LinkedIn and give you the ins and outs of LinkedIn, social media, really where to focus your energy and how to focus your energy on social media platforms, primarily using LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. So primarily using those platforms, which is going to be the focus. Also, the community is going to support each other. So everybody's going to rally around stepping into 2024 so that you have a hub and you have your peeps, you have your tribe, you have the real deal that you know that you can depend on. And I'll set up a separate group for that so that it's fertile ground to activate your highest and best genius. So it's been such an honor to be here with all of you today. If there's something you'd like to share, you can unmic and share now. We'll share for just a few minutes. Susie, anything you want to share? Or you just wrote in the comment section?
No, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It was really good just to spend time and get it all out on paper, and yeah, just get excited for next year. So thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. We'll have to all connect through the social media channels. What about you, Tanya? How you doing over there?
I'm just so excited to start the new year. This is what I needed to jumpstart me, and to remind me of all that I accomplished. So it was nice because there were things that I remembered that I was like, oh, I did this and I accomplished that. So taking that helps me build my confidence to go into the new year. So thank you.
You're so welcome. What about you, Simon?
I'm happy to have joined you people. I've been following you for the last 13 years, and I'm happy for the insight. Yes.
Wow,
And I'm
what
happy
an
for the
honor.
insight that you gave us today. Yes. I'm happy. I'm excited also to see you speaking. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. Thank
And
you so much.
And welcome to Kenya.
Oh, oh my goodness, that's great. My goodness, look at who we have in the
Yes.
house. I love that we're a global international community. So
Yes.
it's a great honor to have you with us. So hopefully you have the workbook and you'll be able to print that out, and that you'll join in more often. That you'll be able to join in more often.
Yeah.
What about you, Brittany? Brittany, I don't know if you are able. Thank you so much. Feeling energized. Okay, great. Understand if you can't come on camera, so that's fine. Anybody else want to join in? I don't want to call anybody out unless you want to come on camera and share. Okay, so it's a wrap. Happy New Year. Do you need to order the book? Tanya, if you're a part of the mastermind, those of you that are part of the mastermind, you will get this in the mail. So you will get this in the mail. It comes with the mastermind. And anybody that wants the planner for the year, it is on Amazon. So if you look it up, Redefine Yourself Best Life Planner with my name on Amazon, you will get this. And there's a lot of resources, but then you can have this entire system to reverse engineer each one of your weeks throughout the year. So that was a good question, Tanya. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Happy New Year.